Hi creatives, I am Dima and you're welcome to another interesting sewing tutorial on this beautiful top, cropped corset top with Queen Anne neckline. We drafted this in the last tutorial. This is all about sewing and you can see the sleeve that is not exactly this, but I'll put a link in the description where we have done exactly this sleeve on this channel. Okay, and you can see how beautiful it's looking. What is on the neckline is actually optional. I just used it to block off the neckline a bit because it looks pretty exposed for going to church, so I just had to do that to cover it up a bit, and then told my son to capture this moment before I step out. We step out to church. So this was the pattern that we drafted in the last tutorial, and this very tutorial is all about the sewing. If you've not seen this tutorial, just check the link in the description, as well as I will be putting it up there so that you check everything it takes to draft this pattern. Okay, so without wasting much of your time, we are going to delve into the whole sewing process. Okay, now here is all of the pattern cut on fabric. We still did this in the last tutorial. Okay, you can notice that how I blended all of this, which I explained in the last tutorial. All the seam allowances are half, aside the side where I used 1/1/4 to 1.5 inches for the side seam allowance. So this is what I have after cutting on fabric. I'll go ahead and cut this on lace as well. You can see the back pattern. The upper part is the yoke, and this is what I cut on chantilly as well. You can see the yoke there for the front, and I cut on tulle as well, so that I'll use the tulle to line it. So this is what I have for the front, and for the back you can see what I have. This is the fabric, and the yoke is the chantilly lace, which will be lined with tulle or net fabric. Now after working, you can see the lining. I've cut it already. That is the black that you can see here, and I've gone ahead to apply interfacing. Here I applied cloth gum. Okay, you can see I applied cloth gum, not so thick. You can see what I have here from the feel of this. So for the cups I used wadding, light wadding. That is what I used for the cups. So after that, I had to go ahead and put this together. You can see how I put it together and how I ironed the seam allowances. So I'm going to place it like this and stitch the cups on. So this is what I have for the lining. I've gone ahead to stitch the cups, and you can see how beautiful that it came out. It came out really nice after joining this together. So the next is to go ahead and do this for the fabric part. So you can see me sorting out the fabric the way it should be. So I'll place the fabrics like this, which I applied hairstay on. I used hairstay for the fabric. I'll tell you how to put the boning in case you want boning on yours. Okay, as we progress, I will show you where you will be fixing your boning. So this is how I I put the chantilly on top of this fabric, and I'm going to bond them together. Okay, I'm going to stitch around it to hold it together as one before I start joining it together. So after holding it together as one, I will join all of that together. So you can see I have held them together as one, and I've joined together, and I've also joined together the cup. Please, the wadding I used on this fabric is light wadding, and on the lining I used thick wadding. Okay, light wadding on the cups of the fabric, this one, and thick wadding on the lining. So I'm going to use bias and run lines all over this lower part of this corset. Okay, so this is the back, and I also applied hairstay. You can see And for the lining, I applied cloth gum. So this is just to give it that structure that I need for corset, because I do not want to put bonings on mine. But if you want to put bonings on yours, go ahead and do invisible boning techniques on the lining or broad bias on this part and fix your bonings. Or better still, I'm going to put links in the description where you will see various ways of applying your boning. Okay, so this is the chantilly, and you can see that I also cut tool. This tool is just to use and form a line, and I'll stitch here and stitch there. Okay, so that when I open up, it will knit up that part of the yoke. I will do the same thing for this. I am going to be using the tool as a lining. Okay, going to stitch the neckline. When I stitch here and also the lower part, just to finish up the yoke. Okay, so you can see what I have here. I was just really fast with this because I needed to conclude this project before I travel home for Christmas. Okay, so I was really hasty. So, but I hope you understand what I did here. So if you want to apply boning, you can see what I use here is 2 inches. Okay, I folded in ½ inch on you know both sides, and then folded into two again to give me ½ inch, which I stitched down on all of these lines. That is what I did, and you can insert your boning inside these channels. These that I did now all have channels, and you can insert your Ridgeline bone or even plastic bone on all of these channels if you want yours to be boned. It's as simple as that. You can also apply more at the back to insert. Just make provision for eyelet holes at the back, because I used zipper for mine. Make eyelet holes at the back and go ahead and tie it like a corset. I'll put links to help you with that, just in case you want to make it as a complete corset. So this is what I have, and you can see how it is sitting right after I put it together and fixed the lining, as you saw right now. So this is what I have. I'm just arranging it really nicely because I want to trim the hem. So when you iron, you arrange it really nicely, pin where you should, and then just trim off any excess on the hem. You know it's on equal hem, so we need to get this really right, and this is how to arrange your clothes before you trim. So after trimming, you turn it inside out like this and stitch the hem. So that is what I'm going to do right now, and then I'll show you. So after stitching it, this is what I got. I just had to go ahead and notch this point really nicely, but ensure that you do not get your notch to the sewing so that it doesn't open up. Okay, so you don't cut your stitch open. So after doing all of that, I had to turn it inside out. I'm just using my scissors carefully to bring out all those pointed parts. That's just what I'm doing here. I didn't know the video did not capture it really nicely. So this is what it looks like. Okay, also imagine your bonings inside all these channels. It will give it even extra structure, but I don't want to put boning in mine, and that's why I did not put it. So right here, I had to trim out any excess by the side, because right now it's obvious that that is an extra. I guess my girl did not iron this lining properly. That's why it is having that extra. It's not supposed to have that extra or that much extra. So right now you can see what I have for the back. I have also stitched all of this yoke. I've stitched it just the way I said, and I just applied button loops on the second one. I hope you understand. So I'm just marking the seam allowance, because after applying this lining to it, I will not see where the seam allowance is as well. This lining is structured with cloth gum, while the fabric is with hairstay. So after joining, this is what I have. I have stitched the neckline and top stitched as well. So the yoke is between the lining and the fabric. So arrange it really nicely and trim the hem just as I did in front. Ensure you arrange really nicely so that you do not trim more than you should. So after trimming, the next thing to do is to go ahead and stitch that hem. Okay, so I'll turn it like this and then go ahead and stitch the hem. I'll do the same thing for the second side. So after doing that, you go ahead and notch. You know it has a sort of curve here. Just notch. Notching helps the cloth relax really nicely the way it should. So after all of that, this is what I have, obviously. So I had to turn it inside out and go ahead and iron, okay? So after ironing, I just close up all of those open sides because I'm not doing this lining to lining, okay? So I have fixed my zipper at this stage and you can see what it looks like. I'll go ahead and fix my buttons on the yoke there, 2 buttons for the 2 button loops. So I had to place the front on the back like this. I'll go ahead and close up my shoulder just as I am illustrating here, okay? The front yoke is between the back yoke chantilly and the tulle net. So I'll go ahead and close up the sides and fix the sleeve, which is a basic sleeve. I'll also put the link in the description just in case you do not know how to draft a basic sleeve. I'll also put the link for the sleeve that is in the main picture. I also have a tutorial for it on the channel. I'll just put all the links you might be needing on in the description box. Just check it out and see what it contained. Do you like this? Are you going to try it out? Try it and let me know what your results are. Okay, I'll be glad to get your feedback. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.